Hello there and welcome to this strategic LinkedIn seminar. First of all, I want to thank you for being here. I think that it's always a good thing when you hang around with ambitious and motivated people, and just the fact that you're watching this video seminar, it shows me that you are serious about your career, you are serious about success, and therefore I'm very excited and very honored to be with you today to share with you the essential principles and techniques that I've been teaching at McGill University so that people can learn to use LinkedIn effectively. Now, LinkedIn is just a tool. It's a tool that is becoming more and more powerful, especially after LinkedIn became a publicly traded company, and therefore it has so much capital to invest in its infrastructure and all the features and functionalities. But it's important to keep in mind that a tool is only as good as how you use it. And how you use a tool really depends on your strategy. It depends on your situation, on your priorities. So just to give an example, even if LinkedIn were to stop developing its platform and infrastructure, you could still be using LinkedIn to advance your career and make much more money. Because LinkedIn, basically, it's just about connecting you to other people who are like you, who are ambitious and serious professionals. So LinkedIn fundamentally is a networking tool, but like I said, it all depends on how you use this tool to your advantage. So in this video seminar, I'm going to show you 4 basic principles that you have to keep in mind so that you can learn to use LinkedIn strategically. First of all, I want to thank McGill University School of Continuing Studies, especially Gianna, Senior Manager, and Adelina, Program Advisor. They have been of great support for Zuni and myself. Zuni is my sister and business associate. They've been of great support in helping us to create the first pilot LinkedIn seminar at McGill. So thank you, Gianna, and thank you, Adelina. It's always great to work with and collaborate with people who are equally concerned about adult education and about empowering people so that they can advance in their career. So let's talk about who I am so that you know my background a little bit. First of all, I'm a strategic consultant to entrepreneurs and small businesses. So basically it means that I help entrepreneurs and small businesses to win no matter how they define winning. So first of all, I have to be a consultant and help them to define winning, and this is not easy. So I help entrepreneurs and small business owners to define what they mean by winning. What do they mean by success? And then I help them to get there. And by the way, everyone on LinkedIn is a business owner, except that you're owning your human capital, and you have usually one client, the corporate employer. But in today's internet economy, it doesn't prevent you from having multiple clients, multiple employers, because you can create products and you can sell those products to employers all over the world. So I'll talk more about that, how to create information products and sell it on the internet. I'll talk about that in a different video. So you can just register or subscribe to this video channel to receive more videos. My educational background is that I graduated with a BCom degree specialized in B2B marketing from McGill University in 1999. And I love B2B. B2B means business to business. And I had the other choice of specializing in consumer marketing, but consumer marketing, it sounds too easy for me. So I opted for B2B marketing, and it's great because when you think about it, when you apply for a job, you're basically selling a product to a business. The product is you. The product is your package of human capital. So because of my B2B background and specialization, I find it very easy to help a person who's looking for a job to land that job, because basically she has to position herself as a product that will bring a return on investment for the employer. So when the employer is looking for a professional or for somebody to fill a vacant position, basically the employer is looking for an investment. The employer wants to invest in a particular professional, and the employer wants to get a high return on that investment. So B2B marketing is all about pitching an investment to corporations or to businesses and convincing them that they stand to gain enormously financially and strategically from buying a corporate product, or in this case from investing in a professional. So my B2B background and education and specialization will be very useful to you. and I'm going to use it extensively in teaching this LinkedIn seminar. So here are the companies that I worked for. Many of them are Fortune 500 companies. For example, IBM, American Express, Abbott Laboratories. These are Fortune 500 companies. So I'm very grateful that I worked for these companies because I learned all their trade secrets. I learned how they operate. So I really understand how corporations function. I also worked for the Justice Department. I worked for Silgan Plastics, a manufacturing company. I worked for an association, a national association called the Canadian Institute of Mining, Metallurgy and Petroleum. I also worked for a big law firm called Desjardins Ducharme Steyn Mona. This, by the way, is a law firm where former Prime Minister Jean Chrétien, the Prime Minister of Canada, this is where he chose to work after he retired from his career in politics. So it's a very significant law firm. Basically, in summary, I used to be a corporate mercenary in the sense that I was hyper-focused on helping companies to achieve their tactical goals, like landing a multi-million-dollar contract at IBM. So I'm very, very goal-oriented. But like I said before, I became a strategic consultant. So I tactical stuff is fine, but I wanted more challenge. So I became a strategic consultant, helping entrepreneurs and small businesses to win. Because of my background in marketing, I basically view LinkedIn as a self-marketing tool. So it's not just networking. Of course, there's networking going on, but LinkedIn is really a tool that allows you to project yourself, your brand, project your human capital, your capabilities to the world, and especially to the people in your network. Now, self-marketing sounds like a self-explanatory word. You market yourself, but in fact, it's not that simple. It's not that simple because a lot of people don't know who they are. They don't know exactly what they offer or what their strengths are. I remember reading a book by Peter Drucker, and he was saying that in his long career as a consultant and advisor to executives and CEOs, he has never met a single executive who knew what his strengths were. So if you don't know what your strengths are, please don't stress yourself. Don't worry, because that is the case for most people. So when I say that LinkedIn is a self-marketing tool, there's more going on than just that simple expression. First of all, you've got to know yourself, your professional self, and second of all, you've got to know marketing. And marketing is a whole discipline. Remember, I spent 3 years at McGill University to learn about marketing, and that was just the tip of the iceberg. So my message is that to use LinkedIn properly, you've got to know yourself and you've got to master marketing. Otherwise, LinkedIn is not going to be very useful to you. LinkedIn is not some magic pill that you can just ingest, or it's not some kind of magical or miracle tool that you can just start using like that. You've got to also understand who you are, what you're aiming for, yourself, self-knowledge. And second, you've got to learn, understand, and master marketing. In other words, self-marketing is way, way, way beyond networking. I think that the majority of LinkedIn users see LinkedIn as a networking tool. So naturally what they do is that they just, network. They just connect to as many people as possible. And some people even consider it a game where the aim is to collect as many connections as possible. Now, there's nothing wrong with having thousands of connections, but if you don't master self-marketing, it's not going to be useful to you. It's really not going to be useful. So beyond the technical features and functionalities of LinkedIn, you've got to look within you and discover what is it that make you so unique. What is it that differentiates you from other professionals? And more importantly, what is it that differentiates you from the other candidates that are likely to compete for the same jobs that you are competing for? So this is the main problem with using LinkedIn just for networking. The problem is that networking has no goals, it has no aim, it has no metrics, it has no key performance indicators, and therefore, you're not likely to focus your efforts, your creativity, your energy. There's no striving. And because there's no striving, there's no fun, there's no flow. Psychologists call it flow. It's a state of activity where you're aiming for a specific and concrete goal, and you're getting feedback, and the feedback is driving you to persevere and strive further, and that gives you flow or the sense of happiness while you're doing a specific activity. So what I want to do is encourage you to create a game on LinkedIn, and I'm going to talk more about it in greater detail in a different video, but the idea is to create a game on LinkedIn that you can play, and you have specific goals to aim for, and you have specific feedback, and that will drive you to use LinkedIn as a career tool. Here I'm saying that marketing is a lot of fun. It's much more fun than networking. Why? Because marketing is a complex game. Now you can start at the simplest level in marketing, but it can become very complex and very stimulating and very exciting. Networking, at least to me, it's quite easy. You meet people, you talk to them, and you shake hands and you exchange business cards. That's really easy. So you should not restrict your usage of LinkedIn at the networking level. Networking, it's a no-brainer. I mean, any teenager can network, right? The fun, the profit, the benefits come to you as a LinkedIn user when you learn marketing and when you learn self-marketing. Because marketing, like I wrote here, it drives you to focus. And when you focus, you concentrate your energies, your creativity, your imagination, and you unleash your powers. So that's to me, it's one of the greatest benefits of LinkedIn. It's not just to advance your career. It really helps you to use your creativity, and you become a fuller person, a more complete person, because it's like as if LinkedIn were a tool for you to self-actualize. So if you use LinkedIn seriously, it can become more than just a professional career tool. It becomes a tool, a platform through which you self-actualize, through which you meet people, you explore ideas, and the benefits are really unlimited. The way LinkedIn is very different from Facebook, because Facebook is a virtual place where you just hang out and you relax. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to have any goals, and that's fine. That's Facebook. That's a social environment. But this doesn't mean that LinkedIn is stressful. It's just a game, like I said before. And if you design the game properly, you get feedback, and you're going to be driven to aim all the time. And this brings out the best in you. It brings out your creative and analytical capabilities, and you're going to feel like a more complete person, a more confident professional. So I think that if you agree that it's time to bring your LinkedIn game from the networking level to the self-marketing level, then we are ready to start the seminar. I know that it took me a while to get here, because I haven't talked about LinkedIn specifically so far, but it was really important for me to spend the last 13 minutes on explaining to you the underlying principles and the approach that I'm using to teach you LinkedIn, because I'm not using the same approach as most other LinkedIn trainers and authors. I'm not talking about the technicalities behind LinkedIn. That's easy. That's anybody who is savvy with the internet can easily use LinkedIn. It's fairly intuitive. As a strategic consultant, my role is really to help you understand the stakes, understand the underlying strategic principles. So if you retain just one message from this video, it should be that LinkedIn is for self-marketing. It's not just for networking. It is for self-marketing. It is a powerful tool where you can project yourself, your human capital, your capabilities, your unique value proposition. We're going to talk later on about this unique value proposition. You can project your brand and your value onto the world. And also, it's where you learn about marketing. Learning about marketing is not something that is nice to have. In today's economy, every single person on this planet is a free agent. So you got to learn how to market yourself. And it's a whole discipline. And you're going to have a lot of fun learning about marketing. So just sit back, and we're going to start the LinkedIn seminar right now. It's going to be a lot of fun. You're going to discover stuff that is really going to stimulate your imagination and help you to use LinkedIn creatively and strategically. So the way that I teach the LinkedIn workshop is that I divide it into 4 different modules. First of all, you have the processes. We're going to talk about 4 specific processes in this LinkedIn seminar. And then you have the LinkedIn assets. You've got to create LinkedIn assets. An example is your profile or the documents that you upload on LinkedIn. Those are assets. in a different video, we're going to talk about skills. I'm not talking about your professional skills, but your LinkedIn skills. For example, one LinkedIn skill is that you've got to learn how to write effectively. There are so many people who don't master writing, and therefore they are projecting a very poor image of themselves to their LinkedIn network, and this is a no-no. So you have to master many LinkedIn skills, including writing, or skills like how to ask questions, or how to answer other people's questions, or how to participate in a group, how to create a LinkedIn group. So those are LinkedIn skills that you've got to master. And finally, the most advanced module that I teach regarding LinkedIn is automation. Once you have a system in place for using LinkedIn properly and strategically, then you can create automation systems that will allow you to really save a lot of time and also ensure the quality of all your activities and interventions on LinkedIn. So these are the 4 major modules that I'm teaching in the LinkedIn workshop. But in this video, I'm just going to focus on the 4 major processes that you've got to master. First of all, it's important to understand what's the difference between a process and a result. A result is a state of the world. It's something that you can measure. A process is something that is organic, that is ongoing, that is evolving all the time. A result cannot evolve. When you get a result, for example, whether it's a contract or it's a number of visitors to your blog, it's a result. You can't change it. It's a fact. But a process is always changing. It's changing dynamically. It's changing and evolving because you are evolving. So I'm going to talk about 4 processes. And these 4 processes mean that you've got to evolve. You've got to improve these processes all the time. Self-marketing is really a big process that is broken down into 4 smaller processes. And so we're going to look at these 4 processes right now. They are unique value proposition process. This is a process. You can't come up with a unique value proposition and say, you know what, Peter, this is it. This is my UVP. I'm going to stick with it until I die. You can't do that because you're going to evolve. The market is going to evolve. So you have to always refine your unique value proposition. You have to adapt to the marketplace or to your target market. The second process that's really important is your profile. Your profile is everything that people see and read about you on LinkedIn. So it's your summary. This is a section on your LinkedIn homepage. It's the recommendations that you're getting from your connections. It's the documents that you upload, whether it's your cover letter or resume. It's your work samples. It's your blog. It's everything that people see about you on LinkedIn. The third process is invitations. How do you invite people? Now, if you want to invite a human resources director to connect with you, there's a specific way to do that. But if you want to invite a headhunter to connect to you, that's a different invitation letter. So there are different types of people that you want to invite, that you want to, you want them to join your career network, and there are different ways of inviting them. Of course, you can use a template email. I think it's just one line that is offered by LinkedIn. I think the line is something like, I'd like to invite you to join my network. You could do that, but let's not be lazy. Because remember, LinkedIn is about self-marketing. If you send that template letter, you're not saying anything about you. In fact, the only thing you're saying is that I'm too lazy or too busy to write, a detailed, a detailed and focused email. So I'm just using the LinkedIn template. So you would be sending out a message of laziness, a message of, it's not good. Now, I'm not saying that you should never use that template. There are different kinds of people that you're going to invite to your network, and it's important to write the right invitation for them so that they remember you. Because of course, if you invite them using just a single sentence, chances are they will connect to you, because most people will see the benefits of connecting to other people because then they have access to that person's professional network. But what I'm saying is that if you make a bit of an effort and you write a more customized invitation email, then they will remember you more. So for example, if you're writing to invite a human resources director and you're part of a LinkedIn group on HR professionals, then they're more likely to remember you. They're more likely to remember your unique value proposition because you will put your unique value proposition in your invitation email. So that increases the chance that they will remember you. So this is really important. And the last process is engagement. Engagement means, how do you talk to people? How do you get people involved? How do you get involved in discussions on LinkedIn, in various questions and answers forums, or in LinkedIn group discussions, and so on and so forth? So it's really a sequence where you go from your unique value proposition to your profile, and then you go from your profile to your invitations and engagement. In other words, each phase will depend on the previous phase. For example, you cannot write a good profile if you don't know what your unique value proposition is, because your profile is just going to confuse people. In the same manner, you can't really invite people until you have a profile. If you don't have a good profile that is complete, then when you invite people, they're going to look at you and they're going to go, wow, this person's profile is really confusing. I don't want to connect to a confused person. So you don't want to send a bad image right away, right? Especially when you invite people, because that's the first impression they get from you. So your profile has to be really good before you go all out and invite people. And last but not least, you can't engage in discussions with people that you're not connected to. So you've got to do your invitations process first. So that's, in a nutshell, those are the 4 basic processes that I came up with, and these 4 processes are really exclusive to this workshop. You're not going to find these processes in any other LinkedIn workshop. So, the information and the knowledge you're getting is really exclusive. Again, I just want to highlight the fact that as you improve your process, your results will improve. Your process or your processes are like the roots of a tree, and your results are like the fruits of that tree. So a lot of people, when they join LinkedIn, sometimes they will ask me a question like, Peter, can I use LinkedIn to find a job quickly, or can I use LinkedIn to connect to employers and get a job interview? But they're focusing on the fruits. LinkedIn is not a job search website. It's not a place where, it's not a headhunter. LinkedIn is not going to help you get a job in 2 weeks. If you need a job really fast, if you're under financial pressure, or you need cash really fast, you should go to a placement agency, or you should talk to a headhunter. They will, give you a job really fast. LinkedIn is really not about getting a job fast, although it might happen. LinkedIn is really for building your career. So if you want to build a good career for the long term, you've got to focus on the process. And the thing is that the processes are usually invisible, in the same way that the roots of a tree are invisible. People only see the fruits, right? But that's why we have to dig deep, and we've got to work with the 4 processes that I talked about previously, and master these processes. Because once you improve your process, your results will improve. Process is the cause, and results are the effects.